Ready?
And we're live. All right.
Hey, I don't see a video playing on the YouTube channel though. There we go.
Let's make sure we get all set up here.
What's up, everybody? Come on in.
There we go. All right.
Welcome in. Super Bowl Sunday. For those of you in the United States of America.
Yeah.
And around the world, of course.
American football.
People love American football. Football has been very good to me.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 3 of Sundays. Told you we were going to do it like this with I Am the One Sun.
What's up, good peoples?
And this week the conversation is ageism, age and music. Man. We had a part of this conversation during the course of our last couple live streams, the last few episodes. And we thought we'd wedge it in here. Perfect timing. Super Bowl, you know.
Wedged in.
Yeah.
Wedged in.
So I guess we'll get started with I'll go through my age. I am 43. I am the young guy in the bunch. You know, first year millennial, you know, but I identify as Gen X.
You identify as.
Well, you know, the thing is that you guys know, you know, most of the people, you know, I know and hang out with and, you know, came up with were about 10 years my senior. And our friend here is no exception. And
Yeah. And where's everybody at though? Like I'm like, where's everybody at? Hey guys, get in here.
It's all good.
Get in here, guys.
It takes a little bit to come up and go through.
Get in here. Oh, snap. DL.
Welcome.
Yeah.
All right, so how old are you on the other side of the spectrum? Perfect, because we got this.
So go ahead and repeat how old you are again now. So like make sure we got this on record.
I am 43 years old.
All right, DL, since you're the only one in here right now in the chat, actually, I know your chat's gonna disappear in a minute, but you get a chance. You get to guess how old I am. Everybody can guess. Throw a guess up there. We're polling.
You already wiped it out.
But see, look at that. Yo, see, I knew that that one
was
too.
Self-destruct.
In 5 seconds, if you choose to accept this mission. Oh my God!
Just go with it. Everybody's gonna catch it on the replay anyway,
right.
And we'll
come on.
So.
All right, guys. Whether you believe it or not, I will be 75 years old coming up. 75. I'm old. What can I say? I mean, you know, damn, you know, like it is what it is. I think we made it past the first two. I said fast. We made it past the first 2 minutes, and I already dropped a profane expression.
Oh well. What are you gonna
do? On the real guys. I'm 56, man. 56. 56.
So on the other side of the spectrum over here, I don't know when the first year Gen Xers are, but it's right around your age. So you're close to the edge of the spectrum over there.
Yeah.
And why this is important is because, one, it is our generation seemingly that is going to inherit the keys to the kingdom or whatever.
Yeah,
and by that I mean as the older generation, passes on, we are going to be in charge, and it's going to be
Ooh,
nothing but Gen X and
ours is in charge.
below. And we have survived through a culture where we have been told, especially in hip hop music, that
Mm,
you are too old once you reach a certain point. Usually that point is around your late 20s was
mhm.
the perspective. If you didn't make it in music within those early ages, you're never going to make it in music, and you might as well stop even trying and do
Yeah,
something
you should
else with your time. And
just
that
lay
was
there and
the general attitude about things when it came to making music. So a lot of us grew up with the narrative and the general perspective that, hey, you're too old. You're too old to do it. And what we learn through our older generation is that you get better when you get older. You develop more. You are so in tune with your craft. If you've
mhm.
been doing it, even if you haven't been doing it like you used to when you were younger, because there's a flip side to that. We do age. We do, need a little bit more care. We do have to adjust our dieting and our exercising. And there's something to be said about that. But
Sometimes we adjust our diet. But
yeah.
if you're married to the woman that I am, you'll know that that's very difficult. That one trying to feed.
Yeah, and we got to do what
See
we
my
got to
lady?
do to take care of ourselves, and you start realizing that you know, it comes up a lot quicker than you would think. So,
It's true.
there's a lot of people that don't even start with music until around this age.
It's
They
true.
just never, gave it a chance
Or they
because
didn't have the courage to because maybe they got discouraged, most of their, young adult life or as a teenager or whatever.
yeah, and there it is. And that falls along the line of the same thing that we were talking about before with the being told that you're aged out of it. For one, a lot of that comes from the industry perspective of trying to keep the people young, because when you're ignorant and uninformed
Yeah, you
and
get taken advantage of.
you get taken advantage of, and it's a lot easier to take
Crazy.
advantage of somebody and sign them, lock them in when they're young, and then you have them for their whole lives
Yeah,
locked in
get
like
them in that
that.
8-9 year contract. And yo, hey DL, man, I just real quick, I want to tell you, we see your comment, man. Yeah, I think people are still collabing, still doing stuff like that. But I think what happens is in the zeitgeist, in the space we're in terms of like the social media spaces we're in, excuse me, I think we tend to kind of ostracize each other in the industry right now. It's really crazy um, how we do that. And then you got people that are just like hating on each other and stuff like that too. Like somebody's really good at something, but then somebody's like jealous or whatever of them. Oh, why not me? That kind of thing. And then people think you're trying to steal the shine on their page and all that stuff. As you can tell, Viral and I really don't give a flying fuck about none of that stuff.
Right.
We do what we do. We love music. And hey, anybody want to collab with me and Viral? You know, you got to have some talent, of course, for real. But if you want to, hit us up. And I think Viral and I, we always down for that. So
And that's another thing that, as you get along later on, you start realizing that uh, collaboration is key. I mean, you learn that kind of early on when it comes to making music, but like what you were saying in hip hop, especially
mhm.
to address DL, um, there's a lot of non-collaborative spaces because, like Sun was saying, you know, even in just a musical space in general, when it comes to hip hop music, especially from an outsider's perspective, people that aren't into hip hop music, that don't care about the culture, it is
Yeah.
heavily scrutinized, even further
We go
as a
gatekeeping. Yeah.
non-music genre. The ageism thing. If you're not in tune with the younger generation, there's something to be said about being in touch with all the generations, including the younger generation. But there's also something to be said about the younger generation learning
Yeah.
from the older generation, which is something that we did in our generation. And it's something that is happening a lot less. And I think a lot of it has to do with the ageism conversation and the
Hmm.
way that people judge the age of making
Yeah.
music, and just
And
like you
it's
can't.
crazy, man. Seriously, man. Seriously. Viral, man. It's nuts, man. It's like, think about it, man. Like you got people still to this day, like no matter how many M&Ms like walk into the set, right? It's so funny how it's still generalized and how it's not only ageism, there's also classism, there's also racism in it,
Racism,
in
yeah.
that whole thing because they still refer to rap music as black people music. That is crazy. Like in my eyes, like when I hear that. And I mean, I've been hearing that my whole life, since, okay, here we go, since the late 70s. So, I mean,
Since the
that's pretty crazy,
beginning.
right?
Yeah.
That just I think that's actually kind of ridiculous. Music is music for all people. I don't care what genre. You could be listening to disco right now, and that's for everybody. Same thing with, rock and roll, man.
It's
If you listen to symphony orchestras all day long, man, it's still music for everyone. So it's not even what it is they think it is. And I think age, it's sort of like when you listening to, like, when you young dudes listen to an OG, right? Sometimes you need to listen. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we got some stuff on tap and on deck that could really help you out. And we're not trying to tell you how to, like, live your life. We're not trying to control your lives and all this stuff, like, because we come from an older perspective. To be honest with you, just coming from my perspective, look, I done messed up enough in my life to know this. And I never tried to tell any of my kids or younger folks, how to live their life or control their life or anything like that. Anytime there was a lesson in it, I was trying to teach them how to control themselves so that they wouldn't make the missteps, and be stuck on stupid like I was when I was young. So, but
Yeah.
hey, to that viral, I'll say this. I guess everybody gotta just learn how they gotta fucking learn. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I'm just reading DL's comment over here and questions. It's it's a good conversation.
yeah, yeah, I'm
People.
looking at it right now. Hey, so
Yeah, there are a lot of cutthroat things in music, but let's get into it real quick.
yeah,
So as far as the ageism stuff goes, so you have Killer Mike last year, not this last Grammys, but the one
yeah,
before that. He had a big win, and he's 49 years old. 49 years old. Kendrick Lamar had a big moment this time around. He's performing
mhm.
at the Super Bowl today, and that halftime performance is going to be something to behold. Especially, people are going to be anticipating that not like us, running it all the way up, and he's
I wonder if
37.
Drake gonna be there.
It'd be interesting.
No, I mean he should come, man.
There are a
Like,
lot of unknown variables in
just
that
should
one.
should come because it's just hip hop, man. Come on, stop playing.
But if you look at the people who've been doing it, who are, winning these awards and all this other stuff, you know what I mean? They're older, seasoned.
Hmm.
And that's what I mean. Like, you become more polished, you become more developed with age. I mean, the theme to, my most recent songs have been addressing the ageism thing real heavy, because it's just kind of, I've been trying to motivate people recently, especially within our age, to jump into it if you haven't. Do more that you haven't done. If you have stuff sitting around and material that you haven't worked on that you want to get done, go ahead and do that because there is no age limit when it comes to this. And as a matter of fact, when you get older and more developed and you learn these things, these ways of, putting your music out there and really doing it, it's a lot easier for you. Knowledge is power. And when you have more knowledge, which is what comes with age, as long as you're learning the right way and going through the motions, things run a lot smoother, especially because you are more developed musically, so you're making better music. So you have not only that going for you, but the fact that you've learned all these things. You've collected all these tools in your tool chest, and
Hmm.
you're able to execute in ways that you were never able to do so when you were younger, especially now in the independent game and the way that things are done. But I always want to be encouraging to those out there who feel that this is a young man's game, because I would challenge them to the exact opposite and say this is a grown person's game, men and women. And
Yes.
one thing that this
Grown
industry has
folks.
proven is that women really have come out, and been doing it, in the Grammys. And Sarah was talking about it during her live stream and her experience at NAM. And there's something to be said about that. There's something to be said about coming out of your shell. And a lot of that has to do with the destructiveness of the ageism conversation and the way that people try to degrade your experience and say that there's no place for it after all these years, when the reality of the situation is there's more places for it now than there ever was. And
Yeah.
it's just a matter
Yeah.
of finding that place and executing whatever you have using the tools in your
Yeah.
chest.
Those are facts, man. Something I want to add, though, Val, to what you're saying. Like, first of all, let me just say I agree with everything you said because I want to validate, what you just shared. One thing I will say that when it comes down to the the age thing, to all of the older artists that are out there who are either trying to get back into performing or if you're making your start later, you have to make sure you're ready. You got to get yourself ready. You got to get your mind ready. You got to get your body ready. You got to get like your vocal cords ready, especially if you're a lyricist of some type. But you got to have your chops so that
For sure.
when it's that time, you can hold your own against anyone, young or old. Okay, because that's really important. Because if you're not sharp, you don't have your voice about you, you don't have that lung capacity, all those things. It's like you're just gonna kind of like reinforce and make them prove them right when they say, oh, you ain't got it. So you could have all the talent in the world, but if you're not prepared in a personal way too, like with
Yeah.
your hygiene, your health, all those things, it plays like a big role in the outcome of what you're gonna be able to do.
And in the end, most people, if not all of them, who are saying that are people that are trying to suppress you for the sake of them trying to get the competition out of the way and trying to just, you know, uh, live in the fear that they carry with them about somebody else taking what they've worked for. And, Gen X is to blame for a lot of that, but I think it's because of the establishment of hip hop and the strongholds that took shape, in the music industry, and the way that our generation was kind of grandfathered into the old ways of developing in the music industry with an A&R. You do a demo, 3-track demo, you shop your demo to record labels and stuff. Those days are long gone, but that was the standard from when the birth of hip hop and all that other stuff came about, especially during the golden era. And speaking to DL's point, it does make a difference nowadays working with people and other people because in the music industry, it's such a small niche, especially when it comes to making hip hop music. It's all about relationships. It's all about your ability to interact with people. And if you don't have that skill set, which a lot of times it takes you years to develop that skill set, then it's going to be more difficult to move forward. Having these conversations not only with each other but with the powers that be.
Hmm.
And what happens when we're the powers that be and we're like, hey, show us something. And you need to show something, because if you don't have something to show, then what are you going to do? What are you going to do there? You're not going to be able to communicate really. So to get your thing out there and do what you need to do, I think it's essential to be able to work with other people, and the communication part is a lot of it, which is why we're doing these Sundays episodes. We're doing a little bit earlier today because of
Super
Super Bowl
Bowl
thing.
Sunday.
But yeah,
Oh, real quick too. Hey, DL man, I didn't want to leave your comment unattended. Definitely don't see it as a complaint at all, man. And you're right, man. When it comes down to it, man, I say young or old, man, those costs of equipment, man, especially that software, it all adds up.
hmm
And hopefully we somehow position ourselves a little bit better as we get older. And then, it doesn't hurt our pocket as much as it normally would. But boy, you're not lying. And that in its own right, that is like depending on what your socioeconomic status is. I mean, if you're gonna find a way, you will find a way to make music. I'll put it that way.
for sure.
However, sometimes that socioeconomic impact can be great and it can be like really tough on people. And so, from that perspective, it ends up being a thing where you get discouraged from that too. You don't even want to, you don't even necessarily want to make music because you're just like, sometimes you got all this equipment, you got all the software, and you don't know what to do with it, maybe, or you can't even afford like the thing that you think you need. And to be honest with you, probably half the shit that Viola and I have as far as software to go, we probably don't even need shit to make good music. I mean, and that's why like I've kind of reduced my footprint with how I make music too. It's like give me
Yeah.
some turntables, man, my mixer, man, and my MPC, and a stack of dope ass records to sample from. I'm good.
That's
You know
why
what I'm
I'm a
saying?
minimalist when it comes to
Yeah,
production, because it does get exhausting, especially when you spend a number of years all this time, and you're
collecting.
spending all this money, and you're just like, okay, when is this going to come to a point to where it's finally going to be beneficial and start paying off? If you spend, decades in and you still haven't made it to your liking, or you're not doing what you want to be doing out here because there's no direction. You know, um, these conversations are definitely helpful to have. Air spider, welcome.
Air spider in the house.
And I think this is not just a generational thing when it comes to hip hop. It's not exclusive to the genre that a lot of us, exist within the space of.
Yeah.
You know, the industry, and their gatekeeping, would like to have you think that it's a young person's game. They would like to have you think that it's a young man's game. Um, but if anything that the industry what music has taught us about the industry is the industry don't necessarily understand music like that. The music guides the industry and not the
Right.
other way around. That's why you have the sea change when it comes to the Grammys, and while it's not enough and the acknowledgement still isn't there to the
Hmm.
capacity it needs to be, it still is a representative change of direction when it comes to the way of thinking, because the industry, is acknowledging, even though they still call it the rap category, you know, okay, fine, we'll take it, but still, it's still there, the people, I mean, who would have thought, especially this last one, that a diss track in a rap battle,
Right?
in an
Yeah.
industry rap battle
You
would be
know,
a thing, you
and I
know?
mean, hey, and that's the cornerstone of hip hop. Although I will say that song, I'm sure that song be cutting deep for Drake, because I mean, some of the stuff that's like, half allegation track right there
Yeah.
for some stuff. So that's crazy.
Especially if
But
you spend time together, in
yo,
the past. Ugh.
you never know who's watching, but yo, shout out to my girl Dochi, yo. Good
Oh,
job.
yeah.
Good job. Just
Yeah.
you went
Great
out there and you
performance
was
for
like,
sure.
it's a far cry from 2021, Miss Dochi, to who you became now. You was just like, fuck all those people in the industry.
Such a great
I'm about to do my
performance.
shit myself.
I was watching this National Geographic documentary on Curtis King's channel, and I happened to catch that live performance during the time there. So shout out to him, because he
Man,
just went over the hill right now at 40 and reached
yeah,
40.
man.
So at 40, that's when we consider over here to be
You
over
just
the
getting
hill, because that is, for the best of us, is middle age, because the best of
so
us can
proud.
only hope to
So
reach
proud.
80, and having a shining moment with the Kendrick Lamar thing. I'm sure with this Super Bowl thing, it's going to be no exception. But yeah, shout out to him for just, I think it was last week or whatever, just reaching over to that 40 perspective, and now he's over here on this side. The accountability and the reliving of trauma side of things.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And hey,
George G. Welcome.
what up, George? Hey, so DL, man, you didn't come across as negative, bro. You good? You good, man?
Yeah, you're good. That's valuable. Wait, I was just reading that. God damn it.
Don't worry, Viral. I'll send you the crib notes later, because I learned I had to record my screen with old DL, man. My man just be slipping in and out like ninja style, man.
That's
On
right.
on
It pulls
on
it
his
up
stuff.
until it takes it down. It doesn't retroactively remove it to,
You know what I'm saying? Oh
but it's
man,
funny. But yeah,
DL said I'm on the DL for real.
so if you look at the age conversation now, look at who is doing the best in music right now. Who's doing the best? Who's at the top of the food chain, and who's considered like the greats for in the industry right now? Like, who's active, like, that
Oh
people would
man,
consider at the top of the list?
that's too, like, for me. That whole thing's too subjective, man. Because I got my old school gatekeeping still intact inside me. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. I'm just messing with y'all. But no, I don't know, man. Like it is kind of a subjective kind of list. I think that music tends to be subjective because it really depends on what you like, right?
Yeah, because I mean,
So like,
it
just
really
because somebody
is.
making money like that doesn't do nothing for me. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Look, guys, if you do music and you make money, you made it, right? Okay, cool. But the thing about it is that, like, if you're not really making music that, like, the next generation and the generation after next and the generation after next can actually pop it in there and listen to that shit in front of their families, dude, okay.
Well, even
There you
Taylor
go.
Swift is
Think
getting
about
up
it.
there. She's like what, 35? And
Man,
then you know,
man.
I
Shout
mean,
out to Taylor Swift. Shout out to Taylor Swift.
yeah, I mean, that's the
Taylor
thing.
Swift, we need a collab. We need a collab.
When Tech Nine got his start, it was early enough, but still, didn't really start getting deep within the game, and really making it until he was already older, and
Jelly roll.
yeah,
Post Malone. Yes.
yeah. I mean, Eminem's what, 52, and he's still making music. Redman, he's on the younger side of things too, right? Like, oh, let me look it up real quick.
Red man, he getting up there, old Reg. Hey,
He's definitely getting up
look,
there.
shout out to you, and yo, big ups to my boy Reggie Noble. Love you, Red man. Hope you good, man. Jersey, stand up. All right.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like riding high in a moment, Ice Cube, yeah, these are all older guys. You know what I mean? And they're making the best music of their lives, really making the best music of their lives.
Yes, they are.
And nobody can really touch it,
You know what though? Seriously, viral man. Listen, I'm gonna take it back in time, man. I'm gonna stop doing modern rap music or all my boom bap stuff, man. I'm taking it back. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna take it back. But no, I'm just playing with y'all. But no, for real, George Redman is killing it. You are not lying. And DL, that's facts, man. Yo, the music's gotta last, man. You know what I mean? Like I wanna be able to be
timeless.
proud, what I made, right? Like, go ahead and like, cause me, I'm an older cat. I mean, I got a grandson, yo. I gotta make sure that he can listen to some of those things. I don't want to be like, every word that came out of my mouth, every other word was a cuss word,
Yeah.
and and I'm talking about disrespecting all kinds of women and stuff like that. And he looking at me like, yo, you talking about you talking about like my mom? You talking about my grandma? Like who you talking about? Like what women are you talking about? So yeah, so I feel like I think especially when it comes to rap. Now, see, viral, here I go. Look, here goes the weak. When it comes to rap, I think a lot of these dudes, they weak. And what I mean by that, they weak because when they go in to rap about you or go in on something, they start rapping about your family. They start rapping about your cousins, your aunties. They start saying real personal stuff that honestly, on the street, it would get you unalived on the street. Real talk. Like if you was in certain neighborhoods where I'm from, you would be done.
For
But
sure.
the thing is that back in the day when we rapped, it was MC versus MC. You didn't have to talk about someone's family. You had to know how to rip an MC apart, rip them to shreds, man to man. And now they just weak. They don't do that.
No doubt. Yeah.
No disrespect to none of these dudes. Do your thing, go make your money. But I'm just saying, like, man, they lack scrote.
And there's something to be said about coming up the way that we did and going through the line of succession. You had to battle rap
Yeah.
your way to a certain level of studio time and then make a demo and then package it together and hopefully get yourself on a stage to where you could, perform and hopefully, get discovered by an A&R. It's a weird, and antiquated, by the way. It wasn't really the way to do it. It was just kind of this weird middle ground of the way that things used to be, and kind of to the way that they gravitated towards, and being in that generation that came through all these developments, and then no matter what genre you consider, and I know this kind of reflects my ageism here, is the fact that most of the marvels in music that people find to be the best is the 90s, whether it be the early 90s or the late 90s. There were so many different developments and so many different genres that came out and so many so many genres, created subgenres, and it was just such a great thing to have so much music out there. And that's when the independent kind of shifted the narrative. But then we got Napster and, digital music and, what we have today, streaming platforms, which has now been like a 20-year thing going on, and it's crazy that this is the longest that this one particular medium has been the standard for music. And
Yeah.
people are just starting to realize how shaky it is, not only because it doesn't pay the artist, but because it favors particular artists who have already made it and already have the numbers and already have the juice to push. And they're just like, oh well, here, since we have these deals with these labels, we're going to give you some extra juice. And I understand how that, especially compiled with the ageism conversation, it becomes even more discouraging when it comes down to it. But look at it this way, Beyonce's still killing it too, and she's 43. She's like a month older than me.
Yeah,
So
but I won't lie like to you, Viral. Man, I love you, brother, and stuff like that. But honestly, man, if it came up between a show of seeing you up on stage and Mrs. Beyonce, I'm going to that Beyonce show.
well, yeah, and you'd pay a premium to go to that too. There's a reason
That's not,
why.
but that ain't, yeah.
Well,
But
that's the thing. Like,
just
tickets
playing.
tickets up there, and for Taylor Swift and all them, it costs a lot to put together that kind of a tour. So those tickets are a lot more than, say, $35 or $25, which was the standard for like an underground show or whatever. I think the last Tech Nine show was at $30 or $35 a ticket. So yeah,
Yeah,
but I mean, we're talking so many years ago, but like, we all have valuable contributions to the
I agree.
conversation of making music, but we also have even more valuable conversations when it comes or contributions when it comes to making the music, because we have developed all this time. Even if we
Yeah, no
haven't
doubt.
and we're getting into music, we understand things, in a way as you get older that you didn't when you were younger. So it's a lot better time maybe for you to jump into making music in your later years. And I would just encourage rather than discourage anybody
Definitely,
from putting anything
definitely.
together, because like it's really it's
You
really great the
you
older
literally
you
never
get.
know, and you never know. And the thing about it is, it was also great about modern technology. First of all, real quick, before I even say that about modern technology, George, that's word, man. Brooklyn, Bronx, but yo, that's any of the five boroughs, man. Honestly, in New York, shoot, Florida, man. My people's in Liberty City, Chi-Town, everywhere, L.A., all over the place, Bay Area. Like, you just don't do certain things in people's hoods, and that's hoods all across America. Shout out to Be More, and I could just mention so many cities on the map. Um, and Air Spider, you over here got me laughing, man, about the genre comment, man. So I'm over here trying not to laugh in the middle of talking, but definitely, like it's like we gotta, really think about like the climate that we're in, right? With music, right? As you get older, the beauty of modern society and all the tech we have is that there's a lot of opportunities for us to go direct to market, direct to consumer kind of thing. And if you build a nice loyal following, I mean, I know a few artists that literally have like millions of followers, and they're not even popular in pop culture right now. But they have like
Yeah.
millions of people following them on their like YouTube channel and their Instagram. And they've built this like underground kind
World.
of connection with their fans, and their fans keep those people paid. Now, I'm not talking about like they're not like 60, 70, 80, 100 million, but these guys are clearing like 10, 20 million a year. So I mean, and that's not bad in my eyes anyway. That's not a bad living. I wouldn't mind making like 10 mil in a year, like on the regular. So,
right.
pick your poison, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's not bad. I think the appreciation when you get older for music is more prevalent as well.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think you start appreciating not only your own music a lot better, but other people's music a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
You start venturing out into other things that you didn't grow up with or, may not have otherwise listened to, you know. That's why I love the DJ circuit because it's so diverse with the types of music that is, being played on a regular basis. And it just, gets you thinking about, you know, music around the world,
Yeah,
and how
yeah.
many people who make music around the world are talking about this ageism crap. It's not exclusive to American music market or anything like that. It's just most prevalent in American hip hop
Yeah.
than anything, but it still
Agree.
exists to smaller degrees outside those spaces.
It's crazy that when you said, music around the world too, because you won't believe, like when I was a young man and I was doing my stuff, like really actively on stage. I wasn't really known here at all. Like United States is hard to be in this market, especially if you don't have good relationships with like the record companies back in those days. And you know the story. Like I got
Yeah.
like pretty much blacklisted, on some BS. But the thing about it is that overseas though, crazy. Like you go over there, like I was over in Japan, and Philippines and places like that, man. Like mad love. So shout out to you know Asia, man, and really appreciate everybody over there. Yo, got mad love even in India, yo. So just I mean, it's a big world, right? It's a big world,
Yeah.
is what I'm saying, and we should take advantage of it. Oh snap! Look who's in the house, man. Look who's in the house.
Apollo. Welcome.
Paulo coming in with the blades.
How's it going? Yeah, I
Word.
missed your live stream the other day. I missed all the live streams except for Pro Synth Network. I missed on Friday. That's another thing when it
See how
comes to the
he
age
kind of being
stuff.
biased toward those guys at SOR. Shout out to all the SOR guys. If y'all listen in the background, I'm just messing with y'all.
So when you get older, that's the thing, your age catches up to you on a physical level to where it makes you mentally start considering these ageism conversations and
No doubt.
drawing some parallels to where you're like, oh well, maybe there's some validity there with what they're saying about the ageism thing because my back don't feel like it did before when I was performing on stage. I was just going to talk about this. The reason why I wasn't available on Friday is because I got a bulging disc going on, and the reason why my disc is bulging is because my stand-up area that I got to help my spine, I spent hours on the keyboard looking down and like this. And because of that, and because I have sensitivities in my spine, it causes my discs to bulge out, and it's something that happened because of jumping around on stage and doing the things that I did as an audio engineer, sitting in that chair for as long as I was. So, it's just one of those things. We all have our bodies that aren't equipped to stick around for the long term. So there is a time limit when it comes to that. But
why you even gotta go there, Viral? You already know, man. Like my whole body, they holding me together right now with some old Elmer's glue and some Baltimore right now. So I don't even know what you're talking about.
But that's the thing. Learning how to navigate through your physical ailments, whatever they are, makes you a better musician. You find out these things and these breathing techniques. And, one of the biggest things that I discovered, and it's a terrible thing that I discovered too, performing on stage. I quit smoking, but I'd have these time periods where I'd pick up a pack for a couple weeks, and that's how I would stay off of cigarettes all year, and the thing that kept me off mostly was performing on stage. And one time it caught me in that transition. I was smoking cigarettes and I performed flawlessly on stage, and I just worked through it and started smoking cigarettes through my performance, not while I was on stage, but like I didn't have to quit for the sake of hitting the stage. I knew that if I had that stage coming up, me smoking cigarettes would not be a problem because I've adjusted my abilities to be able to have that breath to where I could have my cake and eat it too. And it was destructive, no doubt, and terrible,
but I was puffing on nails, man.
Yeah, but it was a lesson that taught me that our bodies adapt, and being able to adjust yourself to your surroundings. You could still, just like what you were saying, son, that you could find a way to make music. You could find a way to put that music out there, especially in the ever so expanding, ecosphere that we live in. With the internet and technology being what it is nowadays, it's one of those things. So, yeah.
Hey, DL, I see your comment, man. Yo, shout out to Pete and Bass over in the UK, man. I love those old guys, man. They be out there getting it. I think some young people might be writing some of their lyrics for them, but they're delivering it. And that's well, I won't say young, probably younger, but still they out there getting it. So shout out to you guys. Hey, Pete and Bass, if y'all listening, Raul and I, come collab with us, man. Just don't be scared. Okay, don't be scared. All right.
So the big anticipation this year,
Can we get Drake on here?
Oh, yeah, right.
Can we try to get Drake?
All eyes on the Super Bowl, and it's because, what Sun's talking about right here, and this is going on from the tail end of last year, this rap battle between the two of them, and it was old, and Kendrick waited all that time to respond, and then it was right away back and forth. If anybody wants to learn anything about that back and forth, go see Curtis King's channel. He's got like the most content on it. He really has milked it for what it's worth, and shout out to him, not only for crossing over that age, but crossing over 54,000 people in the comment section when he did that Grammy or the educational video on National Geographic.
It was a teaching moment. It was a teaching moment.
But and that's the thing. So I'm going to have the cameras running during the Super Bowl halftime thing, because that song has made it all the way from the diss tracks back and forth to the Grammys, to the Super Bowl stage, and now Kendrick Lamar is over here and has this larger than ever stage to perform on, and doing music at his age, and there's something to be said about this. Everybody who is making these huge power moves in the music industry, it ain't the younger ones, except there are a few exceptions, but those exceptions don't have any problems with the age conversation, and we shouldn't have any problems with the age conversation either.
Well, you and I, we can't have any say or problem with it, man, because we ain't no spring chickens, Viral, okay?
No.
So I mean, what choice we got? Like, there ain't no choices in that.
Yeah.
And see, look, Moser wasn't even here earlier for when I did my
for the
age
reveal.
You know what? I mean, see, so Moser, Apollo, George, man, y'all didn't even miss it, man. Yo, this year turning 70, man. Like I said, people are like, man, you know what I mean? Like, but
shit.
old is old, right? So it is what it is. So, I can't even complain, man.
Falling out of my chair and everything.
Man, right? Like y'all don't even know it, man. I'm. This is a wheelchair, man. You know what I'm saying? You see, look, got the wheels.
That's the thing. So, speaking of which, I wanted to mention something about my herniated disc because, it's not herniated now, but, at one point I had 11 of them going, and that was not only my age, the wear and tear that I did to everything, but the amount of time that it took me to recover from all that, where it led me. It led me right here on YouTube. I was still going to do YouTube anyway, but at a smaller capacity. But the only reason why I sat down with the Fantom on YouTube was because of not being able to get up and go anywhere else. So, there are advantages to the bad stuff that happens in your older age when it comes to your body falling apart. It's not all bad.
Yeah, you know what's crazy about that though, man? Like, it's so funny. So viral, man. I had people telling me to make a YouTube channel, like literally almost 20 years. For almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Like they kept on hounding me out. And I'm like, I'm so busy with my life, right? And now, like, I'm looking at that and I think about that, man. Had I been doing this for 20 years, man, oh, man.
I got content on here from 2006, not on this channel, but on this platform. And it's crazy because, like, we all thought about it at that point because
but the only
viral
reason I even followed you, man, the only reason I started following you, man, honestly, man, it really had nothing to do with your music, man. I saw the name of your channel, man. I was like, something about the word viral. I was just like, ugh. Like, I was like, ugh. Yo, hey, did you guys do the same thing with like, hey, shout out in the comments, man, if y'all did the same thing. Y'all saw Viral Beach, y'all saw the name. You're
just
like,
saw the name.
See the expression, ugh, right? I was like, it's like, I say it's almost, it's like word up. Word life, man. No dizzy, man, because nah, but I saw that and I was like, oh, that's filthy. That's a filthy name, like Viral Beats. Ugh. I'm like, I'm gonna follow this dude. Let me just follow him. I'm a comment.
It's funny when I first got active on here, I think it was Eldre who did a video that said viral beats. And he was talking about beats going viral.
Right. You were like, thank you.
Yeah, no, it was just a happy accident to all this virus and virus music and all that other crap, It's just kind of a double thing, but also it says on here when we got started 2014.
Hold on. Hey, tight. DL, stop deleting your comments so fast. I actually saw it, DL. Yo, I know, man. You should have made a channel and videos long ago. Where you going, man? You going to watch the Super Bowl, brother? Hey, DL is literally on the DL. This man is like a super spy, y'all.
Okay, take care,
I love
DL.
this dude. Word. Hey, enjoy the Super Bowl, brother.
Yeah, so the Super Bowl starts in another hour, right? And half an hour. I thought it was like 4 Pacific.
No, man. I got my whole family. They in the other side of the house, man, getting ready.
Since when did it start a half hour earlier?
No, they're getting ready for that. The opening part.
I'm talking about kickoff.
We real football fans, dog.
Yeah, so
George, you out too, man?
Son's got to get out of because
George, man. Hey, George, man, we need some of that food that you and your wife been cooking, man. Stop trying to leave so quick.
Okay, so who's the teams that playing? The same ones as last year, right?
Philly and the Chiefs.
Okay, so shout out to my Philly homies, but
Oh, you're just saying piece of deal.
The thing is that over here, like, I don't know. I don't usually follow sports like that. I used to be really into sports when I was younger, and then music just took over my whole life, everything in it. So, like, I have biases for other reasons, and my interest in Kansas City is more musical in nature. For those who don't know, a while back when, Kansas City Chiefs started making waves, Tech Nine did the theme music. He did this Red Kingdom track, and it became the theme music for that year. and then it was bastardized by MAGA, who used it in their video when they chased after the Harris bus, and it was considered in Congress when they were doing the impeachment as fight music. So that was the end of that. But Kansas City, though, just based on that, not any football or anything like that connection, And plus, I like the Taylor Swift story, regardless on people's hate on her and her boyfriend, them both or whatever. That story about them two getting together is adorable, and seeing them in Super Bowl celebrate that win.
Everybody
music made that happen.
About them. They need to start complaining about them, man. They are a lovely couple, man. Leave them alone.
Yeah, and it's...
Everybody leave Taylor Swift alone.
Yeah, leave the prom queen and high school football player out of the...
Hang on, man. Taylor,
they're older professionals now, and they've made it.
See this, Taylor? Please collab with
Philly
us.
fan for 30 years. Oh, shit. Moser's going to have my head.
Yeah, man.
Hey, that's why I said shout out to my Philly homies, you know what I mean? Just for having my bias. Y'all come at my neck.
Hey, listen, George, man, Philly, that's close enough to home, brother. Close enough to home, you know what I'm saying? But we know who's going to win, man. Look, when what's his name, Mr. Goodell, man, when he makes a decision about who's going to be the champion, that's just what it is, baby.
For sure.
It's like...
For sure.
Shout out, Roger. Shout out, Roger.
I think another reason why, football, I used to be really into football, and I used to play when I was younger, and not at any kind of professional level or anything like that, but really, my dad was a football fanatic. He would even watch college ball, you know what I mean? So just that noise around the house, I always had that every time I lived over at his house.
Yeah, man. I mean, history, man. We got those memories, man, from all the older cats that were in our life. Now we the older cats, man. So
since Samurai. Welcome.
So everybody, why don't you guys put your age in the chat if you're not afraid to do so?
Yeah, let
us know
age.
How old you guys? You guys getting in on this ageism business over here? Do you think
young man,
your time is running out? Look at here. I just happen to have this just opportune moment of having this exact thing for this exact moment right here.
Oh, see, Moser.
It's 5 minutes.
There you go. I thought that was more accurate, man, because I was like, man, that brother don't look not a day older than 45. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding, bro. Oh, yo, you see? That's it. That's me. That is a perfect representation of Viral and I right there. That's us. That hourglass is running out for us.
Yeah, there you go.
Jeez.
For you guys too. This is 5 minutes.
George, yo.
55. What?
George, they call you Mr. AARP. I'm dead, dude.
50, 46. Yeah, so there you have it.
Oh, man.
And how do you guys feel about the music you're making right now in comparison to anything that you've ever done in your entire life? I know Apollo's kind of fresh on the music making tip. I know Synth Samurai's kind of fresh on the music making tip. How do you guys feel about the music you're making being fresh on it in your age, starting at this time in your life, not when you were 18 or 20 years old?
Yo,
that's what I would like to know. I'd like to hear from you guys.
Word. Tell us that, because that's a good poll.
Only started in 2020. There you go. Yeah.
That's a good poll.
All of our music is better than the youngins.
Hey, Synth Samurai, man, you know what you got to do, man? You got to do something where you got some swords, man, when you just come up in the spot.
First instrument I touched was a synth. I love my shit, honestly. Means more. Yeah. Yeah, and I was telling Sun, we were talking about this in conversation sometime, I think it was last week, and I've been preparing my live performance and going through everything, and I didn't have time to sit down with my album because it was the COVID album, and it was 2020 when it was released, and published out there, and I just couldn't tour it or do anything with it, so it just kind of sat there. So this is the first time I've actually really, digested it, and going through that, I was just like thinking about it. I was like, man, I really like my music in a way that I never have before. It's not just it being new to me, but I just realized in that moment that it wasn't just that. It was the fact that I'm currently making the best music that I've ever made in my entire life at 43 years old.
There you go. And outside of Redman's album, maybe Ice Cube's joint, I like listening to you guys' music. You know what I'm saying? I like listening to, Viral's music. I like listening to other people who are in, kind of in our zeitgeist of people that do music kind of more like I guess you could say we more underground in a lot of ways, even if we do have, some of us have a little bit more commercial sound or whatever, but I'm not really interested in a lot of the, listening to a lot of big artists. But I got no shame in my game. Hey, listen, if any of you really gigantic, commercially successful, monetarily successful artists are listening, just ran into this, collab with Viral and I, because we're down for that. Oh, and yo, Moser, where is Trusto, man? Where's your brother, man? Tell him to get up in here, man. Where's he at?
So Georgie's had been making music since 91.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. Like, George, that's what's up, man. You got some connective tissue here in New York, man, for sure, man. We're gonna have to chop it up and talk, man.
And how do you feel now about the way that your music is coming across compared to then? Because I can tell you, like, I feel like I'm making some of the best stuff I've ever made my entire life, like ever.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys tell, and Moser.
What do you think about Beyonce, one of the best country? Yeah, that's the thing.
Isn't that crazy? That's crazy. That's crazy. Shout out Beyonce, yo. You know what I'm saying?
The thing is that it depends on whether or not it sounds good, and she made it sound good. So what do you got to say about it? You gonna bag on something that sounds good? I haven't given it an honest listen, but I could tell you right now from what I've heard, like, it's deserved.
Yeah, and real talk though, like, I would be down with Beyonce because, like, first of all, she married to Jay, and yo, Jay, if you don't run into no kinds of problems, man, yo, collab with Viral and I, please. So we love you, Jay.
Spend the whole thing like
we love you, Jay. We love you, brother. But yeah, hey, Moser,
Twin Cities
What's up, guys? What's up? Moser, can you go and like just like do this, like slap your brother like this while you're watching TV, right on the back of the neck, just like we used to do back in the day, when we was in third grade. You know what I'm saying?
So there's another thing. So you got Killer Mike, who won a bunch of Grammys last year, and he's 49, right? Ninth Wonder is 49, and he's still doing well for himself. Eminem was just making music.
You got to pause for a second. Every time you say Ninth Wonder, the only thing that comes in my mind, right? You already know. Like, I can't do it, man. Like I never talked about Ninth Wonder any other way after he did that, and I was just like, man, I said, mess me up, dude, forever.
I still think about it like all the time, like the tink tink tink. For those who don't know,
goes in the high.
Ninth Wonder made a comment, and he was talking about somebody getting on him about doing sample-based production and saying, I play the keys, and he said, no, you don't. Tink, 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 tink on the keyboard, ain't playing no keys, bro.
Oh man, I'm weak, man. He killed me with that, man. Like that'll never get old, man.
Destructo
in the house. All right. That's what's
So
up.
creativity will always be part of anyone has that spark. Yeah, here you go. Even if the
That
idea came from when you were a kid, you can introduce to people and it will be fresh to those ears. So why stop? That is such a
yeah,
great point. And, speaking to that point, that fully encompasses, EA Ski doing that Ice Cube track and it going as popular as it was and it being 10 years old. Music is timeless. So when you make
shout
timeless
out
music, what
EHC.
does age matter at that point? How you doing? Yeah. What's up, Destructo? Good to see you here, sucker. How's it going? There's hops
That's
in. What's up, sucker?
the Destructo man came in with the unadulterated comment of creativity.
Yeah, I mean, that's if you get down, you get down, and that's what it comes down to. And, it's funny because I'm glad you popped in because that just reminds me of this point that I for sure wanted to make sure that I made here. And that is, to your point, if you get down, what difference does it make?
That's
What
right.
difference does it make?
No
As long as you are getting down,
Dude,
for one, it's subjective to the listener right off the bat. So there's that, but if you truly get down, that
yeah,
means that you hone in on your craft, you care about your stuff, you take your time to produce the right way and do whatever you need to do
that's
to make it sound
that's
the
word.
best.
If you don't like, especially like, and hey, what's up, wag a butt? And if you don't, if you don't care really about money, and I'm not saying don't care about money from the point of view, think of it like this, guys. Look, from the point of view of you should know the music business side of it, right? Because when the money thing comes into play, you need to make sure you're taking care of your business, or the business will take care of you.
For sure.
But what I'm saying is, damn, I said a lot. I think I probably know at least 100 artists that have failed, and they were super talented. Now the reason they failed is why? Because they was too focused on trying to do the most popular song and make money, make money, make money. They did not continue to work on their craft. Like when I used to perform, people used to always wonder, like when they had like the after parties and stuff like that, they were like, yo, where's son? And they're like, my partners who was still there, my DJ and stuff, he'd be like, yo, dude's back at the hotel. Like, like, why'd he leave? Oh, my man, he probably writing rhymes and he on his MPC right now. Yeah, because, it's
For
about
sure.
continuing to build and master your craft. You know what? Like, that's nice, running around, and taking pictures and shit with everybody. But at the end of the day, man, you got to work on your craft and master what you love to do. That's it.
And that's where the age conversation comes into the great benefit of the older you are, the less you care about those superficial things.
Right.
So, what matters to you most are your family, music, and the things that are tangible, So if you're still making music and you just been honing in on your craft all these years, you're a lot more polished. And even if you're not out there doing what you would like to be doing, over here internally is enough to externalize that through your music. And, then it just becomes about certain things, Maybe you just need help with the marketing. Maybe you just need this
Yeah,
or
we're
that, or
busy.
the other, That's the thing about it. We've all grown up to believe that these things are not to be shared. The game is to be sold, not told. But we come to find out later on, each one teach one, and that, when it really comes down to it, share and share alike, just means,
Yo, I'm
that
sorry, man.
that we need
Trusto just came here, man. Gotta
for
read the
sure.
comment. Oh man, they over here cracking me up, y'all. My bad.
Having these conversations the way that they need to be is what brings this community together. And I think with this community coming together is the very thing that benefits all of us musically, knowing that we're all there for each other versus what we've been told that, we got to selfishly be in it for ourselves and not worry about the next person and the gatekeep and all that other stuff. So trust 101. Welcome. Sleepy Montana. Welcome.
Trust iron sharpens iron. Yeah.
That comment Ninth Wonder made was pure bliss. Gotta stop hating on what you use instead of
yeah, man.
But I have to draw the line at products in general with 100% AI. Yeah, so there's that.
And while we hear a little commercial announcement, Ninth Wonder, if you're listening, man, Violent Line, collab with us, man. We here, man. Don't be scared, man. Reach out. Shit. Ninth Wonder, I promise, man. Look, I promise you, Viral will not tink to tink tink tink. And I promise you, I will
give my shout out to
on my MPC.
Reconsider.
So let's go.
Symptoms of reality. Welcome.
And the whole Symptoms of Reality crew.
No, I mean, when it comes down to collaborations, there's a lot of people that I would like to collaborate with, but like the moment has to be right. Like I'm with the same mind frame that like Pac was on with the whole Michael Jackson collab. He wanted to make sure that collaborative effort was an all-inclusive collaborative effort. Yeah. And they wanted to just do his parts, go do his thing, and not even talk to one another, really. So he came in the studio and he did his parts, and afterwards, and Tupac was like, "Nah, I don't want to mess with it," because he wanted to have some genuine, reality into that, collaborative effort, some moment, with that. And, I'm kind of on that level with the collaborative efforts. I would rather collaborate with the people in the right moment, but that's the thing. The music dictates how things are put together when it comes to that really kind of thing. And yeah, it's real good. How's it going, everybody? Welcome.
Yeah, everybody getting ready for Super Bowl. I got to drop off in like 15 because I got like 1 million family members over in the family room, and that's going to be crazy, but I'm looking forward to some of the food. As y'all can probably tell, just like looking at me on camera, you can tell I haven't missed a meal in my life. But that's what happens when you got a wife that can cook like mine, And it's crazy because I can cook, y'all. Just so if y'all didn't know, like, when you get my age, you normally can cook. I can cook very well. And, man, but my wife be like, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all got a wife like that? Anybody got a wife like that to just kick you out even though you can cook?
And that's kind of the thing when it drawing the parallel of the contributions you could make as a person.
Yeah.
You develop these talents as you get older, and you have a lot more to bring to the table. And when those efforts are considered musically, and you're bringing all those efforts to the table musically.
Wagabug, put that comment back. I saw it. It's okay, man. It's okay. If you felt like you might have offended or something, you weren't gonna offend me, brother. Just go put that comment back, brother.
He said we eat rabbit food. Yeah.
Yeah, see, George, man.
I'm with you on there on the rabbit food. That's kind of where we're at.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what you know what I'm saying. Like, but I actually, believe it or not, man, I like to cook. The only time she's cool, I'll start smoking and barbecuing and stuff like that. Then they kind of leave me alone, because nobody want to mess with me on the grill. So when all y'all come out to visit, y'all know what time it is, man. I'm gonna be like, who's dope on the grill? We're gonna find out. You know what I'm saying?
I just made pico yesterday.
Man, you stop. I
got two jars of it, and then I got one thing of spicy.
Stop. This guy's supposed to be sending me some pico, man. But he somehow keeps eating it
shit.
Like before he gets into the post office, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's like, friends like Viral, man. You don't need any more, enemies, man.
I'll just tease you with my Pico, like over here.
Man,
Yeah,
you're making it look all
right.
good and stuff, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Looking all good.
So as far as things go with this ageism conversation, I think a lot of it is within hip hop, and a lot of it is industry related on trying to keep people ignorant because they don't want people to learn, what they eventually come to learn, after a while of, hustling, and it's hard to make it in music, but it's easier done than said, and if you're doing it, then there's nothing as much to talk about, which gives less value to the record labels and the powers that be, which is why they don't want you to have these conversations and want to talk about it and say, hey, it's a young man's game, and it's really a developed person's game, and you really, develop with age. But if you start acting like a sponge and start taking that information in early on, then it works out to your benefit, and one of the things here, a lot of people may not know me as an artist, but how quickly things move once I release this next project, you guys will be like, oh, well, that happened quick. Well, it does happen quick when you have a standard of doing things and you understand how to go with it, and it's just you hit it at the right moment, then everything will fly, and you only learn these things through trial and error and figuring it out, whether you do it on your own or with other people. So there's no reason not to tell that and tell everybody you can, hey, this is how we make it, this is how we provide value for the industry in which we all live and breathe, because the majority of the music industry is over here, not over there. They're big, loud smoke and mirrors and all the other stuff that people used to want to achieve and everything. The majority of the music is on this side of the fence,
It's
so
true. That's true. Especially the quality music, And Recon, man,
sure.
I see you, man. You said you like the phrasing, a developed person's game, That's what Viral is on, man. Viral understands the game of YouTube too. It's not like saying you can't say, that fool got. You can say that fool got unalived. It's the same difference.
I'll be making comments like that.
Everybody on the barbecue, it's on. So make sure y'all, when y'all come this way, man, we'll have a crazy cookout, y'all.
So as far as these streams go and the other things, we kind of have a loose plan. It kind of falls into place from what we end up talking about.
Yes.
We've had a lot of this ageism conversation already, so having a whole stream about it, especially a shorter one, because it's Super Bowl weekend, and
short.
yeah, it's kickoff
listen,
happening
though.
soon.
Y'all heard that saying before, right? Age ain't nothing but a number. Well, it's true to an extent until until your back hurt, like Virals in mine. So then age might be a little bit of a factor. But
I love this saying here. The best plan is to not have one. Works every time.
No doubt about that.
That's why I don't put these streams out days in advance. It only comes out just a few hours ahead of time.
And see, here we go, Viral. Look. Here it comes. Here comes the gavel. Sustained. You know what I'm saying? It's like we are seriously. I love that saying too, man.
There's so many variables when it comes to this life, and when it comes to making music, music production, and the way that it's subjective. There's certain things that you only learn with age and trial and error and coming up in the game and doing things the way that you have. And it's just, we've reached a turning point to where a lot of us are reaching that age to where we're going to be in charge of everything pretty soon. So there's no excuse There are no excuses. And even the ones who are in charge versus the ones who aren't in charge, we've all learned, we've all grown, and we've all developed over the years. And it is up to us to talk to one another and include each other and realize that the exclusion that we've lived with through the course of us developing is not something that was a comfortable space for us to live in, and that's why a lot of us have made things easier for the next generation moving forward. But it's not up to us to just exclude that generation because they don't want to hear that shit, B. They don't want to hear what you're talking about, you old dusty. I remember, just not too long ago to where, in your mid-30s was considered over the hill. Well, tell that to those who are winning Grammys and playing the Super Bowl. There's something to be said about learning from those who are actively making it and doing everything to run it all the way up. And it doesn't matter how it happened organically, and it has spread like wildfire. It doesn't matter how many listened to it or how many wanted it or didn't want it in the beginning. It became what it became, and it is what it is now, and we are all going to be here. And even we might react to Kendrick Lamar's performance. You never know, and these things, especially when it comes to making music and having this niche of a niche over here, it behooves us to have these bigger numbers. Come over here and look at what we're doing and listen to what we're saying.
That's true. But bro, look, I got a bone to pick with Kendrick, and you know this, right? So I might as well air this out right now. Everybody, I hope y'all listening, because
John, welcome.
Hey, what's up, brother John Alchemy? But yo, I got a bone to pick with you, Kendrick. I hope you listening, dog. So first of all, Kendrick, you ain't about shit, bro. Let me tell you that. Real talk, you ain't about shit, bro. And the reason I'm saying that is, why you pick on Drake like that? You know that man kind of handicapped, man. That ain't right. That ain't even right, y'all. And look, y'all know that.
Hit him first. That was Drake who started that. Drake was the first one.
He knew that man was mentally handicapped. He didn't have to do that to that man like that. That man was already, he was having issues, man. And you know what? All he had to do was just stay ADA compliant with that. Like, it would have been,
I was conflicted at first until the lawsuits came out against the other content creators. Once the lawsuits came out, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, it was crazy, right?
But like
what?
So for one, I'm a huge fan of battle rap. In case you guys didn't know, and there was this real known battle between Disaster and DNA that took place in Toronto, and Drake was there. And Drake put money up. He gave them both money in the end. He had this heartfelt thing to say, and he was active in King of the Dot, which is the Canadian battle rap league, who actually took over the battle rap circuit for a number of years. And then all these years later, he just pops up randomly on Instagram and is wearing an ICP ringmaster hockey jersey. And, even confirmed it on Adam 22 on No Jumper, and was like, yo, I mess with them heavy, so them getting a shout out like that, from him at that time, just out of nowhere, but I also knew about those old performances, when he was 24, bringing that 17-year-old up on stage. I also knew about the what do you call that? The Stranger Things, person, and being interested. So like already it was weird, and I also know something that a lot of us, tend to forgot, which is that Drake and Kendrick worked with each other before, and I think that they have toured. I know that they shared the same stage together before, maybe not performing at the same time, but on the same show together a couple times. So like they have a closer interaction to know some things about one another, and Yeah, once all the lawsuits came out towards the content creators and then later on towards the label, it's just like, oh God, yeah. So and it's gonna be the whole thing, that A minor line going across the stadium, like what?
And and truth be told, like I know I was joking around and stuff, but Viral still wants to collab with you, Drake. I'm just kidding. Oh man. Hey man, look, we praying for you guys, man. We hope all that stuff work out for you guys, however y'all are rolling. But
And the thing is that, for hip hop heads out there, this is a really good conversation for hip hop. And there's been a lot of back and forth, was Joey Badass and then, Daylight getting into it.
yo,
and
speaking of
then,
which, shout
all
out
that.
Joey, man. Brooklyn, stand up. All right, go ahead. And then you said De La? Because De La's in the mix.
Daylight.
Oh, Daylight. Daylight.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about De La
Yeah, the
Soul.
battle rapper. No, the battle rapper.
Word.
Curtis King's friend.
Word.
Yeah,
word.
that A minor line. Yeah, that's gonna get him. So we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I'm going to record it. I'm not gonna go live or anything. I'm not gonna do the whole zeitgeist thing like Curtis King did with his whole 54,000 people in the chat live reacting to a nature show.
So shout out Curtis King. No longer gonna call you Curtis King, just gonna call you 54K guy.
Is Curtis King. We got Curtis Ding over here.
The mighty Robotussin in the house.
I really need to do something about this kid's hair. He doesn't want me to cut it, but he won't comb it. He won't manage it.
Kendrick's going live at halftime, Brother George.
Yeah.
That's why everybody's talking about that A minor.
Yeah, so yeah, he ran this this diss track all the way up to the Grammys, all the way through, and here we are with everything. See you later. So yeah, don't let your age get you down, guys and gals. You make some of the best music that you've ever made in your entire lives, in your older age,
Yo, hold up, man. You in trouble, dog. Yo, Mama SRO, man. She's like, that's a direct address right there, dog.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
No, I got it. That's being blended with the other thing that we're working on too. So.
Trusto.
And that's mostly his fault. He got into trouble. So shame.
Yo, Apollo, that's what, I'm just having fun. That's what I'm saying, man. Like you gotta have fun, man.
Yeah.
You gotta love what you do. And that's the thing. It doesn't matter how old we get, guys. Look, as long as, we woke up on the right side of the bed, and the right side of the grave too. And we not dead. Like we blessed to be here, y'all. So let's keep creating. Let's make music. Let's have fun.
Yeah, and there's nothing really to gatekeep because, you can't take anything with you, and even if you're, passing it down to your family or whatever, that still doesn't take what you have inside of you and put yourself out there like that, and we're abstract people, when it comes to making music and production and all that, so there's a lot that we learn. There's a lot of hats that we wear. There's a lot of things that we do, and there's a lot of stuff that we need to learn from one another. And there's a lot of us in our older age who've been doing it for a long time who need to teach those who are coming into it at this age and to those who are entering in at the early age and have them realize the truth about sonics and development and dynamics and how to produce and do things the right way, because there is a right way, and the right way is to take your time and really make the effort. And as long as you're making the effort and getting down and getting it in, then it doesn't matter what age you are, what color you are, because the hue of your skin doesn't make with what you are, within, from who you are, It just, the circumstances, that we all face, we could share with one another and learn from each other. And is there anything else you want to say? Because I know we're
Man,
wrapping up here. It's becoming that time.
Mama SRO, thank you for the shout out about the Discord. I'm gonna give it to Viral. Maybe you can throw it down in the, like the description area or something like that. And you guys come join the Discord, man. Don't worry, the YouTube channel is coming. There's a lot of other stuff coming too, because guys, I'm also a writer too. I do some public speaking, stuff like that. So you guys definitely can. But Viral, like, if it's cool with you, man, let's why don't we take everybody to we're gonna go to the EDM club right now, and you want to take it out like that, man? How you want to get down?
The EDM
All right.
club.
Yo,
I don't know what the hell that means.
Do you
but
guys have all your colored lights and all this, stuff, but we're gonna take it to the club right now. Let's go. We're going to the EDM spot right now.
Here it goes. Oh, he's got it in
Come
there.
on, let's go. Put your hands in there. Let's go.
So as far as things go in the future here, we're going to do this. Every Sunday is a Sunday episode. Unless we let you guys know otherwise. And like I said, we started an hour earlier. We usually do it at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, but we did it an hour earlier because of the Super Bowl. And got a lot of things cooking for this week, so be on the lookout for that. And next weekend we'll be on with I Am the One Son. We already got our topic for next week, so I'll let that be revealed then.
Mad love and shouts to all y'all.
We're going to be talking about content creators in this space.
Slap that neck.
Who make music.
Oh, snap. Yo,
So,
Trust, I'm sorry, man.
It might be a little controversial.
Yeah, maybe even a lot.
Maybe.
After we do that, Viral, man, they might want to make you and I both unalive, man, after that.
Well, this is the perfect thing about having this conversation next weekend on the next episode, because of the reactivity of how things are going to go with the Super Bowl, because having this halftime performance, and as popular as it's going to be, there's going to be a lot of people within our space reacting to it that don't normally do. And it's going to bring a lot of traffic to our niche of a niche, which is a good thing. And it's also going to potentially cause some hazards along the way. But seeing that domino effect will definitely take shape this week. So we will have all that effect from the domino falling the way that it does by the time we have this conversation about other creators, because we'll be able to hit it just the same that we are this week, saying that Curtis King, right after our live stream last week, is when he got the 54,000 people in a chat.
Hey.
That was like third on YouTube across all genres, and unheard of in our niche of a niche, but good on him for pulling those kind of numbers. And
Curtis King, stop showing off, man.
Good on him for whatever numbers he pulls from this halftime performance reaction, because he's going to be right on there to jump on it and free Curtis King.
So everybody, if you could put your hands together for Mr. Viral Beats.
You and your
Yes,
sound
sir.
effects.
Yes, sir. Viral doing another great show. Yes, sir.
Appreciate you guys. So we'll be on next weekend, next Sunday, for another episode of Sundays with I'm the One Son. I told you we were going to do it this way for sure.
My brothers and sisters.
But yeah, really appreciate you guys hanging in there and coming through, and enjoy the Super Bowl. and this halftime performance, because I'm going to be curious to see what it's going to look like for sure.
And enjoy the Super Bowl, even if you know who's going to win.
And don't let anybody tell you that you're too old.
Never too old.
Never too old. Never too
Shout
old.
out Taylor Swift.
Music. Never too old for music. Yeah, you know, you just become more polished and get better when you're making timeless music. You know, you don't stop until the clock runs out for yourself physically. So, you know, we all got that clock to punch, but as long as we don't, if we're still making the music out here, it's our responsibility to keep it going. And there's no place to go but up, you know, no matter how many pitfalls there are out there or how many discrepancies there are within this industry. It is us that make the industry move the way that it moves. So,
thanks.
Yeah.
Well said there, Mr. Viral Beats. Well
Thanks
said.
again for joining us on what has become our normal and now our third episode of Sundays. And everybody here, take care, everybody. Love you guys. Leave a like on your way out. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And yeah, we'll see you guys later.
Peace, love, and hair grease.
Take care, y'all.